And here are the first 15 promises he has made if he is reelected. You may have heard of Project 2025, but this is from Agenda 47, and you can read all of these on his website. First, he promises that he will carry out the largest domestic deportation operation in history. He will also ask for the death sentence for anyone convicted of human trafficking. He will close the Department of Education and return all education standards to the states to decide. He will put prayer back into school, and he will criminalize any race-based advantage programs. He will end the Affordable Care Act. He will ban gender-affirming care for adults and children, and he will ban any federal dollars from going towards gender-affirming care, which means anyone with government-provided health care will no longer be able to access gender-affirming care except for Viagra and Cialis. Those will still be available. He will propose a constitutional amendment that gives a term limit to Congress. He will deploy the Department of Justice to investigate the Biden crime family and any of his adversaries or political rivals. He will immediately pardon all of the January 6thers, and he will create a task force to investigate anyone who arrested, charged, or imprisoned a January 6er. He will increase the penalties for underage criminal offenders, strengthen immunity for police officers, and deploy the National Guard to patrol woke cities. On day one, he will reassess our participation in NATO and says that every European country needs to pay the United States for protection. He will also restore the wonderful travel ban for Muslims coming to America. He will build freedom cities. This is 10 new cities built on federal land. He will award them to areas with the best development proposals, and he will prioritize moving young families to these freedom cities. He will kill all e-vehicles and e-vehicle legislation, seeking to replace that with the development of a flying car. He believes that we could create a car that vertically takes off. He will remove all of the limits on American natural gas exports and drill baby drill for oil domestically. He will impose a tariff of up to 60% on Chinese imports. He will extend the 2017 tax cuts and drop the corporate tax rate from 21% to 15%. He will push Congress to pass legislation that would give every American the right to concealed carry anywhere at any time. And he will revoke any gun restrictions or legislation that seeks to inhibit people's ability to own guns that's been passed in the last several years. He will demand that Europe pay back all the money we gave Ukraine, and then he will use all of that money to recruit for the American military. And he will take billions and billions of dollars from private university endowments by taxing, fining, and suing the universities. He specifically names Harvard in this one. And then he will use that money to create the American Academy. It is a free online college that will be free of wokeness that he will force employers to recognize as a bachelor's degree equivalent. So that's Agenda 47.
That was one of the best Trump ad campaigns I have ever seen in my life. The best. Trump, if you see this, this is your best ad campaign. Well, sure as hell, I'm convinced now. I'm definitely voting for Trump. Holy crap. All those good things, why not? I mean, tell me one thing that was bad in that lineup. And this is a liberal individual who hates Trump and keeps talking about the bad policies of Trump. Name me one bad thing that thing named. Because I don't want to misgender, right? The best one was allowing the Americans to conceal carry. This moron did not even know the Second Amendment was put in place for to defend yourself against a tyrannic government, which what we have now. So it is complaining about the Second Amendment. But the best one was, I played this for my wife, and the Freedom Land was the best. She's like, "Can we move there?" I swear to God, this is exactly what she said. That was freaking fantastic. The college thing, I think it's great. I think it's definitely great. This way, money is not wasted. At least people are learning something useful. And if you're not familiar with Project 2025, it's basically the agenda of the upcoming presidential administration, which is the Trump administration, who basically is gonna stick to his gun and drain the swamp. So I'm gonna read a small piece of it right here. It says, "This is the goal of 2025 President Transition Project. This project will build on 4 pillars that will collectively give the way for an effective conservative administration." And then these are the directors and the associate director and blah 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 blah. So what it says is, oh, there's a playbook button right here. Let's do the playbook button. The 4th pillar of Project 2025 is our 180-day transition playbook and includes a comprehensive, concrete transition plan for each federal agency. Only through the implementation of specific action plans at each agency will the next conservative presidential administration be successful. Let's see. Mandate for leadership and conservative promise. Oh, it's a PDF. Wow. It's a long piece of document. So, yeah, it's massive. This is massive. Okay. Anyways, I'm not gonna read this because this is a lot. But the Project 2025, the whole premise behind Project 2025 is basically to drain the swamp once and for all, get rid of all the wokeness, get rid of all the liberal craziness that's going on in our country and in our government, because it doesn't help anybody. And the fact that Trump had it in there to ask for money back from Europe because the money given to Ukraine. Oh my God, that's freaking awesome. So I mean, what else? I mean, this was one of the best written piece of plan or like playbook. What's wrong with it? Asking NATO to pay their share? What's wrong with that? What is wrong with NATO paying their share? Why is that a problem? I don't understand. Why is that a problem? Why is it a problem not to get hooked with these endless stupid wars? I don't understand. I don't understand the fact that why liberals are constantly crying foul if somebody says, I don't want to subject to ideology. I don't understand it. Using federal land to basically give young families a good start, and most likely these families are going to be the families who are below the poverty line or at the poverty line. Give them a fresh start. And as you see, they never specified color, so I'm sure 100% they're gonna play the color game in this as well. But realistically, I did not hear anything that nobody or anybody with at least 3 brain cells would argue with. Everything and anything in that would actually be in the benefit of every American citizen, to include concealed carry. I'm a huge fan of concealed carry. Huge fan. And the states that don't allow you to conceal carry has the highest criminal rates ever recorded. Ones like New York, LA, and Chicago, and Michigan. Oh no, Michigan has concealed carry. But Michigan still, But the highest, New York, Chicago, and California. So, but hey, if you have not read the entire Project 2025, I urge you to go do so at your own time. Contact them, reach out to them if you have questions, I guess. It says contact. So, anyways, let me know what you think. Put your comments down below. Peace out.